Okay, yesterday, finally, and I don't know the time. It could have been Conor McGregor is back, I guess, in Ireland. I'm guessing here, but he came out yesterday, and he had a long kind of. Was this on Instagram? Was it on
Instagram?
Okay, and so Conor came out and finally talked. We'd heard when Floyd won the fight. We heard he was on Fox, he was on all over TV and stuff. And now Conor McGregor is talking, and he had a long thing on Instagram. Thank you to my team, my training partners, amazing team. Just coming back around after a whirlwind couple of days. And he talks about his training, and he talks about Floyd. He says, congrats to Floyd on a well-fought match, very experienced, methodical in his work, heck of a boxer, experience, his patience and his endurance won this fight hands down. I always told him he was not a fighter. He was a boxer, great understanding of frames and head position. In a way, Conor McGregor, it's a backhanded compliment. I'm a tougher guy than you, but, you've got the endurance thing, and you're really good with the head position thing and the understanding thing and the cardio thing, but I'm the tough guy. And that's the difference between the UFC, where tough guys win a lot, and boxing. It is not a coincidence that the best two fighters I've ever seen in my life live, or just seen period, are Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. They're the two smartest fighters I think I've ever seen. This is where MMA UFC fans just have a hole. They don't get it. They wrongly thought that tough was as valuable in boxing as it is in the UFC. And it's not. Even on Twitter, leading up to the fight, during the fight, and after the fight. Conor's tougher. Conor's a real man. That works in the UFC, and it works in a bar. UFC fans put a huge premium on manhood and toughness. Boxing is called the sweet science. It is science, plus training, plus skill, plus cardiovascular excellence. UFC is pain tolerance and courage. And yeah, training matters too. But think about this. The toughest guy in the UFC, in his prime, a champion, 15 pounds heavier, walked into a ring with a 40-year-old man, 6 years past his prime, in his last fight, who seemed marginally committed days before, strip club, Burger King the night before, and it was not even competitive. Now, if you put him in another octagon, that's where tough matters and courage matters. But UFC fans never understood that boxing, tough, is about number 4. Tough in the MMA, it may be number 1. Courage, pain tolerance, way up there. And in boxing, the idea that a UFC guy can walk in with a highly skilled boxer at 40 in his last fight with so-so commitment and not really be competitive for the last 6 rounds shows you how misguided UFC fans were. Paulie Malignaggi was on the show yesterday, and he talked about if he ever fought Conor McGregor.
You can say whatever you want. You can talk about being the bravest guy. You can talk about being the hardest puncher. You can talk about being anything you want. But when you get in that ring, the truth all comes out. You know when you're being assaulted, because by the end of the fight, Conor was essentially being assaulted. And on fight night, when push came to shove, it's the reason Floyd fought him in the way he did, because Floyd himself knew the guy had no balls. When push came to shove, he says, I'm just going to push him at the edge of the cliff, and then Conor will jump all for me. I won't even have to do any work. He'll just quit on me, just like the way he always does.
Not competitive. Conor with a backhanded compliment. Let's just be honest. He dominated. Own up to it. It's not just about framing and this and that and this and that. It's a money grab. You got yours. Happy for you. Went longer than I thought. But Floyd called it the heist for a reason.